Skateboards. Today I'm going to be loading up the monster press and the standard press, gluing them by hand, and talking about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how you can get one of your own. Also got some cool announcements to talk about. But first, we're going to go ahead and talk about what's inside your skateboard. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so we're going to start out with the monster press here. What's inside your skateboard? Well, Chuck, you asked, I'll tell you. There's 7 plies of maple inside of your standard skateboard. Sorry about that. So you got 7 plies of maple inside your board. And got a face, which is a pretty vertical grain. Core, another vertical grain, but can have some blemishes on it. Crossband, horizontal grain. So inside your board you've got face, core, crossband, core, crossband, core, and another face. Nick Riley asked, am I skating today? That's a good question. I've got to deliver a board, and then possibly, I'm delivering a board to LP right after this. But, so keep those layers I just talked about in mind here. The reason that we glue by hand here at Life Skateboards is because a glue machine misses the faces and the crossbands when it glues, and we want to give you full glue coverage on every side of every ply inside your skateboard. The glue machines glue up both sides of the veneer. So obviously you don't want glue on both sides of the faces, so they don't do that. And then the crossbands would get rolled up inside of it, so they don't do that either. We want to make sure we give you a high quality board, so we're not going to cut corners here at Life Skateboards. As far as cool announcements to talk about, yesterday I was on Wish TV doing an interview about skate parks. That was pretty cool. Hopefully that's a foot in the door to promote contests on our local news channels and things like that. Justin Hutchins and I talked about the importance of skate parks and what got us into skateboarding and all that fun stuff during the Wish You Were Here segment on Wish TV yesterday. What's up, Clayton? Thanks for hopping in here. And sorry for the poor angles today. You guys are on a tripod made of scrap wood, a broken tripod, and furniture clamps. I got here and realized I left my tripod at home. So we're always going to make it work though. The other really cool thing is something you're going to want to pay attention to. If you're watching this from after my lives, thank you. But you're going to want to, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're going to want to go to Stranger Casper over on Instagram and follow me. Live Nation reached out to me recently, and they said, hey, you want to do a promotional giveaway on some tickets for Aquabats? I was like, that sounds cool. I want to do that. And then I started looking at it. Mike V and the Rats are playing too. So stay tuned to my Instagram. There's going to be a reel posted with information on how to get tickets to, it's called the Bats, Cats, and Rats Tour. It's going around. They'll be playing at Old National Center on August 5th. I'll be there. But hopefully I'll be there with a couple of you guys if you win some tickets. Hoping this is also a foot in the door with Live Nation to be able to give away tickets on a more regular basis. We'll see. When it happens, just drive up traffic on that post for me so that Live Nation is happy with me. But yeah, that's pretty much, I think that's the good news. And other good news, you guys are boosting my watch hours like crazy. It hasn't updated, but it's been sitting at 2300 for a minute, which is nice. Only 700 off from YouTube partner. I'm taping up the boards over here. Once again, sorry for the really, really bad angles today. I'm pretty proud of this tripod, but it sucks. I'm gonna mark that as a 7-ply. Yeah, if you saw my post on Instagram today, I'm most likely gonna be jumping around from park to park this weekend. If you need a life board, let me know. If you need help ordering a life board, let me know. And of course, I'll have butter bars with me, so help me sell out of those. If you're not familiar with what butter bars is, I started a wax company. The whole point is to raise money for community events and pay a couple skateboarders. Right now we've got Charlie 6 and Justin Hutchins as pros on the team. They got paid $1 for each of their signatures on there. So for the first drop, they each got $50. We made a poor choice with the community fund right off the bat and helped somebody get a generator out for an event that we shouldn't have been associated with to begin with. So we are building that community fund back up and my focus I think this time is going to be on cash prizes for events. November is going to be a good one. I talked to the city yesterday about what we need to do to have some events in between July and November, and we're pretty much a go to just make that happen. So might get another event peppered in there, or it might just end up being more events every year, which I'm fine with too. Oh. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to share this on another platform. Keep forgetting to do that. As for butter bars as well, this second drop, I think I've got 27 bars left, and once I sell out of those, I'm going to get close to starting on the second drop. It should have 150 bars in it with a new pro, Chuck Bennett, who's the first person to comment on this chat. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I already have Chuck's signature cards. I just got to pay him, and then we'll get that started. Oh. Alright, in a second here, I'm going to move the tripod around. We're going to raise up the press for the monster press, and then we'll get the standards glued up and pressed, and then I'm out of here. I got to go deliver a board and get some rest and then skate. It's been too hot to skate in the middle of the day. I'll tape this up and then you guys can watch the press raise up. I am amazed that this tripod isn't falling apart. It's just some scrap wood, a tripod, a hair tie, and some furniture clamps. Ooh. Sanjay. I shout you out every time, Sanjay. That means you better get a life. One of these. These are life boards. If you didn't know, welcome to Life Skateboards. And if you want to get one of these of your own, give me a second to change the angle here. This is a lot quicker with the other tripod. But if you didn't know, you can just go to lifeskateboard.com and get one of your own. Skate boards. So these here are actually some gigantic boards. They're monsters. We just released a couple boards on the Life Instagram. If you go check that out, it's Life Skateboard 1010. They're massive. There's a deal on getting them with the 13-inch trucks while supplies last on the 13-inch trucks. But you can get those. I think they're 14.2 at the truck bed. Freaking insane. You should get one. Morning, Tristan. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So just gotta slide this upper mold in, and then we're gonna raise these up. What I'm doing right now is checking and double checking the alignment. If the alignment's off, then the pressing is off. And we don't sell badly pressed boards here at Life. All right. It is a decent morning. All right, so what you're gonna be watching out for here is called squeeze out. You're gonna see glue start to squeeze out the sides here. Now this system used to be hooked up to air when the shop was in Muncie, but we haven't hooked anything up here yet. So we're just getting the job done one way or the other. Do I know how to kickflip? Yes, Angie, I know how to kickflip. You can go check my page if you'd like to, bud. Yep, Christian asked, is that more wide, boys? Yes, it is. We are stocking up, anticipating quite a bump in sales on these. Because these are, I believe these are the widest skateboards in the world at the moment. I believe. 14.2 with good concave. They're definitely the widest boards in the world where the concave doesn't feel like an accident. That's for sure. Look at that, you can already see better concave. Thanks, Adam, I appreciate you. Alright. Glue is starting to squeeze out. I always go until it can hold my body weight. Yeah, 14.2 is insane, isn't it? Here, let me, real quick, since I got a second, I'll show you the template for these things. They are insane. I'm definitely, as soon as one sets up, I will kickflip it, at least. I've trade flipped the barge, which is 11.75, but I haven't put my feet on one of these things yet. Look at that. This is just the template, not the board itself. We do not make surfboards, no. So this one is the XXL panhead, okay? And this is the XXXXL panhead. Thing is insane. Just go to the Life Skateboards Instagram to check out how to order one. That would be not impossible, but I want to see that too. So let me, real quick. So this is the template for the barge. It's 11.75. That was our widest board before it. Yes, it is ridiculous, isn't it? 11.75 was our widest board before. I've tray flipped it, and I know Sam Crawford in Columbus, Indiana has impossibled that. So I guarantee you, if I bring one down to Columbus with me, when I'm down there for a contest or something, Sam will go ahead and impossible that. He's pretty insane. All right. Now we're going to hop over to standards. You just saw the biggest boards we make. You know it, man. So we make really wide boards, but we also make normal size boards. So that's how we got different molds over here. We've got a wide mold, a monster mold, a long mold, a standard mold, a mellow mold, a youth mold, and a longboard mold. These guys are your 9 inches and under, right here. All right, I gotta grab some more glue here. Sam don't get no uncut templates. Sam makes those uncuts. But I do have one that's just pretty much an uncut. It's pretty hard to skate. Once again, you guys are on a makeshift tripod right now, so sorry for the horrible angles. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll catch Sam at the end of this live. Well, Ray, you can always get back into skateboarding. As Jake Phelps said, it's always waiting. And if you want a handcrafted, high-quality board, you just go to lifeskateboard.com and get you one. If you go to our website, there's an option on there that says Make My Life Complete. That's the best deal on our website. It's the price of a deck plus 110, and you get trucks, wheels, bearings, hardware, and grip. And that's going to be Ace or independent trucks, Pigs wheels, Reds bearings, stock hardware, and Jessup grip. So for a popsicle, that would be $180 before tax. Shapes go up from there. I will say those big boards, they're a bit pricey. Hey, there you go. Gao Miyagi or Mike V. If you guys don't know, Gao Miyagi just has fabric instead of grip tape on his board. When I was growing up, my first board was a Toy Machine Complete. And then I think I had a 0 after that. And then it didn't really matter. It was just hand-me-downs. But speaking of Mike V, Tristan, pay attention. I'm going to be giving away tickets to Mike V and the Rats. It's actually an Acrobats concert. But Mike V and the Rats are playing. It's Mike V and the Rats, Aquabats, and Coffin Cats for the Bats, Cats, and Rats tour. I think that'll be pretty cool. And hey, if you guys are watching right now and you want to help me out at all, there's a playlist on my channel called Watch This For Me. If you watch that, it boosts my watch hours. You can leave that shit playing when you're not even in the room. It just helps me out. We're about 700 shy of where I need to be right now, and then I'm a YouTube partner. I can accept donations on lives, start making ad revenue, and life will be great. You guys will help me pay my bills. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on it. I'm more stoked on the fact that Live Nation wants to work with me. Because that means that we can start having like tickets for prizes at contests and stuff. That's what I'm excited about. Like, there's a possibility of meeting Mike V, but I'm excited for the opportunity that's gonna give our community. There's a lot of hellos. What's up, Stephanie? I'm gonna assume that's Q watching. We got Ed and Radver Racer. Radver Racer. Fingerboard, I'm assuming. Is that a fingerboard company? Thanks for popping in, guys. I appreciate you. And don't forget, you can get one of these boards of your own at lifeskateboard.com. I know you're seeing me make a lot of natural boards here, but we can either roll the bottom, use dyed veneer, or whatever you need. If you guys have any question about the board making process, feel free to ask. Today I'm just going to be doing gluing and pressing, but some of my lives include shaping, graphic application, stuff like that. Every once in a while, just catch me playing with my dog on a live. Trick you've always wanted to do? Yeah, front side invert. Any invert, to be honest with you. I've landed one Amdirect. I've got invert to front rock, and I've got Miller flips and layback airs. But no stalled invert, and that makes me mad. Flip trick wise, I want to figure out pressure flips and they just don't make sense to me, and they should make sense to me. So I do like weird side pressure flips, like toe flips and stuff. But just a straight up pressure flip has never made sense to me. Like to the point where if I did like a burial heel and somebody was like, that's just a pressure flip, I'd say thank you. Like that sounds... Have I ever 8-plied my signature model? No, I have not. I've got a 6-ply of it that I'm going to be setting up for vert, but I have not 8-plied it, no. That would be interesting to see how long it lasts. So the points on the nose are the first thing to go on that shape. What even is a pressure flip? I love Burt slides and gum butt drop ins. I don't know what germ butt drop in is. You gotta explain it to me. But what is a pressure flip? All right, hold on. Important. So pressure flip. I don't even have a fingerboard. I've just got a broken part of a trophy here. So let's say you're doing what would be an inward heel, right? So instead of flicking, your back foot does all the work. So you like pop, push forward, and scooping makes the board flip instead of actually flicking. And I understand the mechanics of it, but like my feet just don't do the thing that they're supposed to do. I just never focused on them. Yeah, I do like a weird, the pressure flip that I do it's called a fizzle flip. It's technically a nollie pressure hospital flip where you just set up front foot bolts, back foot just inside of bolts with your heel hanging off, float your front foot, flip it over on your back foot, and then half shove over. What's your eye color? I don't know. They like go between blue and green. Oh, skateboard jumping on your back. My lower 3 vertebrae don't. All right, guys, let me know if the audio is on, because I just got a phone call and I did not expect it. So hopefully the audio didn't just shut off on you. Whenever the live starts taking off, somebody decides to try to ruin it with a phone call. All right, perfect. Thank you guys. That's one reason I appreciate this chat. You guys are on it for me. Talking about cool drop-ins. Have you ever done the one where you set your back wheels up behind the coping, like with your tail on the ground, and you just like send it in? Like, don't deck check or anything, just send it past the coping. It's pretty fun. It's terrifying. I don't fully understand how it works, but it's fun. I did it to make a point the other day. Like trying to explain to somebody how rolling in is like treating the coping like it's not there. And it was fun. It's an exhilarating drop-in. I like it. Those drop-ins, revert drop-ins, suicide drop-ins, all the fun ones. We just got one more to glue up here after this one. Catch this glue before it overflows. And don't forget, guys, if you want one of these boards of your own, you just go to lifeskateboard.com and get one. I was just asked how many plies are in a deck, so it comes standard 7. We can do a 6 or an 8. Well, when you meet me at the park, we're going to work on them. Okay? You should try that, Tristan. It is like dumb and fun. Like I said, I don't fully understand the mechanics of how it works, but when I send it, it works. Oh, and going back to that Mike V thing, I will definitely be making a promo video for it, and I will definitely do a 540 boneless that reverts out into a 720. And I hope he's not mad at me for it. Yeah, vert was scary. It is still scary to me. I mean, there's a difference between transition and vert. Vert is anything that literally goes vertical at a 90. So it'd be like a vert ramp has at least 14 inches of vert on it, specifically so that you can get a full wheelbase on that vertical part of the ramp. I love transition, and it's super fun and easy and comfortable for me. Put me on a vert ramp and my knees are shaking. Somebody said, can you make egg shapes like heroin? More like, can heroin make more egg shapes like us? But yep, we sure can. We actually just released a 14.2 with good concave. So if you thought the Eggzilla was cool, the Mega Twin actually has concave that doesn't feel like it was an accident. So check that out. Go to Life Skateboard 1010 and check that out. Alright, gluing up the last one here, and we will get things going. Thank you. Yeah, so my boss Sam runs the Instagram over there, but he also just posted some instructions on how to order those gigantic boards. We've got some of those 13-inch slappy trucks that'll fit them just right. But if you're not looking for something that massive, it's also just a great high-quality board. Per my boss's suggestion, Sam said you try to steer people towards the 6-plies on boards that are that wide, just to shave some weight off of there for you. And a board with that much concave is going to have really good end-to-end strength anyway. But it's our same beautifully deep concave, just stretched out a little bit. Hey, thank you, Ro. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I'll catch you next time. Hey, don't forget, get a life, Ro. That's the cool added benefit of getting one of these boards, is then when you tell other people to get them, you can scream, "Get a life!" And it's not an insult, it's just fun. It's just fun. I will say that my inbox is full of people cussing me out because I said "get a life" and they didn't understand. 50 Tyson said Canadian maple. That's a good question. I like to say Great Lakes maple because some of it does come from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. But yes, essentially Canadian maple. Now the reason you want Canadian maple is because, or at least Great Lakes maple, is you want maple that was grown in places with long winters and slow growth. You want those grains to be tight and give you a stronger piece of wood. But yeah, I mean, our wood comes from Canada, Michigan, I say Great Lakes because that's generally where the maple comes from. Yeah, I've seen some people. Dude, it's great. There's people that, what is it? Instagram user. It just says that on my messages with a big old FU and how dare you and all those fun things just for telling people to get a life. It's fun. Hey, Jason, that's awesome. You've never skated a half pipe before. 14's bigger than I've skated. I dropped in for the first time on the Louisville ramp very poorly, and then 6 months later learned how to do it right on the Columbus ramp. These things are awesome, man. They're fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate you that you find this relaxing. Yeah, big ramps are great. Where's your 14-foot? That's pretty cool. We got I think he's 14 now on the team, Gavin Svetlik. Sometimes I do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just winging it. Do any of us really know what we're doing? That's a good question that I just asked. Let me compliment myself again real quick. All right, I'm gonna get this veneer loaded up into here, and then we're gonna raise these presses up. Might have to clean some of these off. All right, so just like the other press, we're going to be aligning these as best we can here. Now this one has a double mold, so we'll be able to put 2 in the bottom and 2 in the top. So Phantom just hopped in here and said, "How much are boards? $5 a pop?" No. That's weird. So the popsicles are $70, and then shapes go up from there. You're mentioning the overstock sale happening at Ollie's. That would be overstock sold from a company called Dwindle. that outsourced all of their product, outsourced all of their manufacturing, died when they dwindle started to kind of fall off in 2018, I think. And then they sold all their overstock to Ollie's. So don't get used to those prices. Yeah, so if you just got back into skateboarding, this is the type of board that you used to be used to. So factory boards have just dropped off in quality, and those boards you're finding at Always are an example of some of the worst quality that was out there as far as mass-produced pro boards go. I mean, think about it this way: what you're watching me do is something they do not do. They put a ton of boards in the same press. The boards lose concave in the middle. As far as in the middle of the stack, I mean. They do short press and cure times. We do 7 days, cure time, 24-hour press times. They use a glue machine, which misses plies. We glue by hand for a reason. They use a heat transfer to apply their graphics, regardless of the fact that heat weakens the bond between the maple and the glue. It's just easier, so that's what they do. Industry quality has been falling off like crazy for a long time. So I'm really sorry that you hopped right back in while quality was bad. But yeah, death wishes are I mean, in my opinion, just factory boards are garbage in general. That's the opinion you're gonna catch from me. I mean, it's kind of bad. I'm gonna be sharing some opinions that some people aren't gonna like here. We go and pick up our veneer ourselves. But I mean, look at the industry where, let's say, I'm gonna call out Paul Schmidt real quick, the owner of PS Sticks. So you got a guy that throws on a lab coat and starts throwing around words like nanotubes to make you feel like your skateboard is stronger when nanotubes don't exist inside of a skateboard, but nobody questions it. And then you see him make posts about how he's helping somebody out that breaks a board a session. That should not be a standard that's acceptable for the industry. They're talking about, well, we need to try different materials to make it easier for these boards. No, you just need to do a different process in the board making to make the board stronger. You don't need to figure anything out. You just need to find out what you did wrong. And that's pretty obvious. I mean, heat transfers being the standard is a pretty bad sign. The outsourcing of board making was pretty bad. So I mean, think about it. You're getting maple from Canada, shipped here, processed here, shipped to China, pressed, shipped, and made, pressed, stored, and made over there. And quite possibly the people making it have never touched a skateboard besides making one, which sucks. Yep, I'm making time travel machines. It takes you back to a time when skateboards lasted. This is what making good skateboards looks like. Yeah, dude, Elsa's onto something. These are a time machine into when skateboards were good. Yep, that works great for cabinets because you're not giving stress to a cabinet in a bunch of different angles. What companies still make good skateboards? Life Skateboards. There's your answer, okay? Us. You got companies like C-Rat that are doing what we're doing. You got companies like Last Arrow. Unfortunately, hookups is garbage. Where's the key? The key to what? I don't know. Here, let me show you guys what you've been on this whole thing. This whole time. This is the tripod you guys have been on. I left it at home. I made this. It's nice. There are no decent element decks. Somebody said I have a decent element deck. Element was what? Switched from Dwindle to DSM. So elements are the boards you're finding in Always. So I'm going to break it down for you, my opinion, when you're going to ask my opinion. How do I feel about Deluxe? This will answer that opinion. So any company that uses a heat transfer to apply their graphics doesn't care about quality, they care about quantity. I mean, check their press and cure times. They don't really have cure times. Same thing with Habitat. If it's honestly, it's just factory. The factory standard in general in the industry has fallen to crap. Our graphics are not silk screened, but I think silk screening is amazing. Ours are lino block transferred, and I will actually, we got a moment here. I'll grab my keys. That's what you were asking. You were asking where I left my keys because somebody knows I lose my keys all the time. There they are. I'll go ahead and walk us over to the studio. Carpet? There's some carpet right here. I don't know. Basically, if the company that you say doesn't have a hand in actually making the skateboard, then no, I don't really think that they're good. Have I heard of the company Thank You? Day One Songs Company? Yes. So I used to work in a skate shop, selling all the, major brands when I found this company. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, until you put your feet on a craft board and feel the difference between factory boards and small batch craft boards, it's hard to explain the difference to people that haven't rode the difference. What are my thoughts on resins? I think if you're doing it right, that's great. See a lot of resins where they apply heat transfer when they're done. There's a lot of boards where I see that there's like really cool technology and cool stuff that goes into them, and then they slap a heat transfer on there. Yeah, that was Poe and Day One's company. But like I said, it's a heat transfer, and they don't have a hand in actually making it. What did I have for breakfast today? I'll be real honest with you, a Speedway sandwich. I was in a hurry this morning. So this is how we apply our graphics. These are called lino blocks. They're hand-carved relief images. These right here. Somebody said, did you have a background in woodworking before skateboards? No, I had a background in skateboards before woodworking. Been skating for 22 years now, I think. I was riding for a local company and working in a skate shop when I found this company and started working for them. What size deck do I use when I'm skating? That's a loaded question. My signature shape is what I ride all the time. We don't have one in here right now, so let me go grab one for you. Sam usually does all the graphics. I haven't been doing graphics except for my own lately. But let's make sure I don't forget my keys in here again. Where's that guy? Do I like bowl skating or street? I like everything. I film a lot more park than street. When I film street, it goes in a video part. You usually. Oh, what was I doing? I forgot. I know right now I'm waiting on Sam to get here so he can tell me what boards I'm bringing with me around this weekend. And then I'm going to go deliver Spence's board. Keys. Thanks. Got him. There was something else. I was doing something else. Smoke a bowl? No, I don't smoke. Thank you, though. Oh, yeah, show us your deck. That was what it was. Thank you. Look, this is why I got you guys here. I got the attention span and the memory of a dead goldfish. So here's my deck. It needs re-gripped. I'm waiting on a package from DKL right now. This thing is wild. We'll go measure a template, but that's the shape you see me skating in all my clips and all my videos. Oops. We got hula hoops in here in the way. There we go. Can I give you a skateboard? No, I can't do that. Hand card application tools. All right, there we go. My favorite trick when I'm street skating, I don't know. I mean, I like to, I'll send the front, ooh, shit. Sorry. Oh. Retouch off. I need you guys, I accidentally turned retouch on. I'm this ugly all the time, I promise. But it's my favorite trick when street skating. I will send a front through your boneless down anything. But lately, barley grinds have been a favorite. Give me a second here. Here's a tape measure. Barley grinds have been a favorite of mine. Laser flip my phone. That was a double laser, just for you. All right, I'm currently measuring the template. So at the back truck bed, it's just at 9, but then it widens up to 9.5, right where my wheelbase, right where my wheel bite hits. And the front truck bed is 9 3/4. The length is 32 3/4. The tail fans out to 9 inches wide, and the nose narrows down all the way to 7. What do the boards usually cost? So $70 for popsicles, and then the shapes go up from there. I'm going to stick around on this live until Sam gets here, answer any questions you guys have, and I know somebody wanted to see the process. So you know what? I'll just go ahead and kind of walk us through the process here. While I'm here, I got to cover up the glue real quick. You guys are on a little case tripod now. We get real fancy covering up the glue here. Only the finest of Kroger bags and Menards bags. Because Menards makes a really good bag. But only the finest for life skateboard. Alright, whatever happened to the... So I don't know what you're talking about, bud. Used to skate when I worked in a custom cabinet. Yeah, actually... Sam's custom cabinets is Sam's custom woodworking is what he was doing out here anyway. The boss man has a history in woodworking. Look at all them furniture clamps. Menards is awesome. Moist. Hey, look at that. Somebody who thinks their comments are important. Let's see there. There we go. Yeah. You get timeouts for insults. Anyway, so we pulled the veneer out here, grabbed those 7 plies like I showed you earlier. Good morning, Lulu. We glue them up by hand right here, and then we shove them in the press. They go in the press for 24 hours. and then they sit in a stack of their own concave to cure for 7 days. After they cure for 7 days, Sam puts truck holes in them right here, and then attaches one of the templates to those uncuts through the truck holes. He then takes that template, runs it along this bearing, and the router here, the blade here, cuts that out. What's up? Thanks for tuning in from Australia. When he cuts that, the edge looks like this, so it's not at a 90 to the concave. And then we use this belt sander here to bring that edge to a 90. Round it off with the edge router here. Clean up that edge a little bit here. This cleans up everything else. And then the orbital sander here gets it ready for graphics. Dang, that's really cool. Hey, everybody that's watching, sound off on where you are. I think this is a really cool thing to do on the lives. I like finding out where everybody's from. I'm going to clean up here for a second, and then I'm going to come back here to read off where everybody's from. Let me know. I'll be right back. Ah! I'm back. So far, we got two answers. We got Kentucky and Long Island. Somebody said, could you give me a brand? Your brand? How about a company? Just buy a board from us. Go to lifeskateboard.com. And then as far as like board size, I'd say start off. I'm going to give you this caveat. I think bigger boards are better. And when I say bigger boards, I mean around nine and up. So I would suggest start off with 825 with exact fit trucks, because then if you want a bigger board and you want to try out an 8.5, then your truck's only a 1/4 inch off. If you want to go down a little bit, your truck's only a 1/4 inch off. So then you've got a little bit of wiggle room. And if you go with us and you get a board from us, I would highly suggest getting this 825 here, and then getting that right here. There's the 825, and then getting the truck holes double drilled. That way you get an option for different wheelbases and you can figure it out yourself. We got some people tuning in from Iowa, Maine, New York. And we got Eric over here is breaking in some downhill bearings. That's pretty rad. Actually, you know what? I might have a question for you, downhill man. We're getting my keys that I lost again. We're going back into the studio. We're taking trips around the shop here. Hey, thank you. Yeah, we'll ship everywhere for you. There's a deal on the website right now to get your a shirt for 50% off with a board. So check that out. We got people tuning in from Detroit, Africa, Puerto Rico. Somebody said, did you know Bam was first on Nike? That's neat. You want to see something cool? So you bring up Bam. I didn't bring him up this time, guys. If you didn't catch that, that's Bam's signature. I was hanging out with him a couple days after I got that car. That was pretty awesome. Just stay tuned too, because there will definitely be a video from the castle very soon. I say very soon, in the next month or two. You got people from Italy. Italy is where they make the nice bearings. I am currently using Ace Classics. I like the sound of those compared to AF1s. Bam is looking great. That was one thing we talked about when we met, was that it was about his sobriety. I think that's where we clicked. Yeah, no, Venge here in the comments was actually the reason that I got to meet him. But yeah, Bam is looking great. I know he's probably going through it with losing some friends this week, but he's doing great and turning to skateboarding, which is awesome. I'm grabbing some bearings to ask a question of this downhill guy. Are we out of them? Dang. So we ended up getting these reds at one point. They had built-in spacers. They were kind of cool. But I guess we sold out of them. Never mind. As I said, I'd never seen a signed car before. So we were just kind of skating together at LP, and then he had to leave. And I realized he didn't sign anything yet. And I was like, hey, I don't have anything. Sign my car. And he was like, that's cool. And then we skated together again at LP, and then Majors, and then one more time before he left town at Majors. But it's pretty exciting. Pretty stoked to get to meet him and hang out with him. And really stoked to meet him at this point while he's going through his sobriety journey. Because I'm only a few years ahead of him on mine. So kind of cool to the guy that I idolized while I was in active addiction is on the same path as me in recovery. That's pretty exciting. But well, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here, guys. But don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. There's Sam. We found him. I'm the Sam man. No, it definitely doesn't sound as cool, but they seemed to work really well. But all right, I'm gonna hop off of here. Stay tuned for that Aquabats and Mike V thing. And Sanjay, one last shout out. Bye.